The January snow blanketed Crescent Meadows, my Minnesota suburb, where my Lake Minnetonka cabin stood as a haven of pine and peace. I'd been in St. Paul, finalizing county permits, when my neighbor Mabel called, voice shaking, "Sarah, your cabin's gone. Karen Miller's HOA bulldozed it." I raced to the lake, heart pounding, to find my cabin reduced to rubble. Karen standing amid the wreckage, clipboard in hand, sneering, "Your illegal cabin's off our land now." She demolished my retreat, claiming it violated HOA codes. Karen, who'd stolen my power, fenced my road, and burned Ethan's Tesla, had struck again, targeting my cabin on private, unincorporated county land outside her HOA's jurisdiction. What she didn't know was that I, Sarah, a farmer, conservationist, SWAT trainer, and the county's lead permitting officer, had signed off on every land permit in the region, including her HOA's. My cabin was legal, my cameras caught her crime, and my signature held the power to bury her. I stood in the snow, phone filming, as Karen's bulldozer idled and neighbors gathered, horrified. This wasn't just destruction. It was Karen's boldest felony, blind to my authority and the law. My grief turned to resolve. She thought she could raise my cabin. I was about to turn her demolition into a viral reckoning, with my county allies and community ready to crush her HOA. Crescent Meadows would rally, and Karen's bulldozer would dig her own grave. What unfolded wasn't just me saving my land. It was a masterclass in justice, community strength, and bureaucratic power that left Karen's HOA dissolved, her crime exposed, and my cabin's legacy untouchable. My permits weren't just papers. They were her downfall, and the sheriff's cuffs were coming. Crescent Meadows was a defiant Minnesota suburb, its murals, snow-covered gardens, and my Meadowmark Cafe a rebellion against Karen Miller's HOA tyranny. My Lake Minnetonka cabin, a cozy two-story on private, unincorporated county land, was my sanctuary with a dock, pine-shaded deck, and legal permits I'd signed as county permitting officer. It stood outside the HOA's gated neighborhood, free from their rules. I'm Sarah, the farmer, Meadowmart owner, county wildlife conservation head, SWAT trainer, and permitting officer who'd crushed Karen 18 times, buying Meadowmart after her farm stand ban, exposing her assault on Lily, stopping her fishing derby, evicting her fishing club, jailing fake HOA cops, rallying for a pilot's defiance, retrieving my tow tractor, shutting down her cop call on my fence, backing Ibrahim Traore, ejecting her security patrol, protecting the Thompsons, winning court. For my wrecked car, defending Ellen from fake cops, saving James's cabin water, freeing Marine sniper Elijah Rowe, stopping her ranch auction, clearing my road with Grandpa Hank's tractor, and zapping her cycle with my circuit. My cabin's permits, filed under my name, were ironclad. Karen Miller, mid-50s, was a reckless criminal, her clipboard a flimsy prop. Exiled from the HOA, jailed for assault, and banned after a power theft, she'd hired a demolition crew, later identified as Vince Cole and Ray Patel, shady contractors, to raise my cabin, claiming it was unpermitted. Her vandalism was a desperate bid to reassert control, backed by a dwindling HOA clique. Key allies included my mother, Ellen, a sharpshooting organizer, Grandpa Hank, a tractor-wielding farmer, Dr. James Thompson, a cybersecurity expert, Aisha, his wife, Ethan Carter, an undercover cop, Mia, his wife, Linda, our councilwoman, and Lily, my organizer. Deputy Harris, my SWAT friend, and Sheriff Carla Ruiz were on call. Neighbors like Mabel saw the bulldozers, and the Crescent Meadows Forum, our digital hub, would fuel the fight. The setting was my cabin's lakeside lot, a January morning in 2025, with snow piling on the rubble. Karen's bulldozer, parked by her fake HOA demolition order, loomed over my cabin's remains. My cameras, hidden in nearby pines, caught every move. Karen, by the wreckage, waved her forged order, oblivious to my permits. My land, county property, was untouchable, and her demolition was a felony. This wasn't just about my cabin. It was Karen's final assault on our freedom. As I filmed, this fight would echo our victories and redefine our town spirit. Karen's bulldozer was a gut punch. "Your cabin's illegal," she shouted, waving her fake orders I filmed. I stepped through the rubble, voice steady. This is county land, Karen. I signed its permit. You're a vandal. Her smirk faded. She hadn't known my role. I called Sheriff Ruiz, who snapped. Demolition without permits? Felony. Ellen texted my cabin's permit. Karen's done. James sent county records, saying, your signature's on her HOA's permits too. I confronted Karen, phone rolling. Your crew's on my cameras, destroying my property. She claimed I violated HOA codes. I live-streamed. Karen raised my cabin. I control county permits. Hashtags Karen destroys cabin and hashtag save Sarah's cabin trended, hitting 700,000 views. Lily streamed from Meadow Mart, showing my permit. Crescent Meadows stands with Sarah, she said, hitting 800,000 views. Ethan handed out flyers about county land laws, explaining Sarah's cabin was legal. Karen's a criminal. The forum surged, with posts recalling her past, stealing my power, fencing my road. Hashtag Karen destroys cabin went national, with a tweet. HOA Karen bulldozes farmer's cabin. Doesn't know she signs all permits. Hashtag permit power. Karen rallied her crew, shouting, clear the lot. But neighbors swarmed, chanting Sarah's cabin. Mabel filmed Cole and Patel, catching their bulldozers' plates. I share my camera feed. Karen's destroying my home. The clip hit 10 million views. Aisha arrived, saying she targeted James's cabin. We're testifying. Her clout shook Karen's goons. Harris and Ruiz's SWAT team roared up, lights flashing. Stop the bulldozer. Harris ordered Cole and Patel, who froze. Karen screamed, this is legal, but Ruiz held up Mabel's footage. You're committing vandalism, she said. I live-streamed. Karen's demolition is busted. My permits win. The stream hit 15 million views, with news vans arriving. Comments flooded. Sarah's a boss. Karen's done. Linda arrived with a county land assessor, announcing Karen's demolition is a felony on county land. The crowd chanted cabin free as Karen's goons fled. The forum planned a cabin-strong rally at Meadow Mart, with music and permit law talks. Karen tried one last lie, claiming the HOA approved the demolition, but Ruiz showed my permit, signed by me. The stage was set, not just to stop her, but to crush her HOA and rally Crescent Meadows. Her bulldozer was her end, and my permits were loaded. My cabin's rubble was a battleground of justice. Karen stood by the bulldozer, trembling, as Ruiz questioned Cole and Patel. The live stream hit 25 million views, with hashtag Karen destroys cabin and hashtag save Sarah's cabin trending globally. Neighbors packed my lot, waving signs, Sarah's permits, no HOA wreckage. News crews broadcast live, anchors calling it a farmer stand against HOA vandalism. The air crackled, and I was ready to bury Karen's empire. Ethan addressed the crowd, voice clear. Sarah's cabin is county land, HOA exempt. Karen's demolition is a felony, caught on camera. He showed my permit and footage, proving her crime. Neighbors gasped, sharing the clips online. Ellen handed out flyers, saying, Sarah and James fight for us. Karen's trespassing. The forum surged. Karen's crushed. Sarah's a hero. A viral tweet read, HOA Karen raises farmer's cabin. Doesn't know she signs all permits. Hashtag Karen destroys cabin. Karen tried to spin it, shouting, Sarah's cabin was unpermitted, but Ruiz held up Cole's texts. Karen ordered the demolition. You're destroying private property, she said. Karen's face fell. She hadn't known my authority. National land rights groups joined X, posting, Karen's vandalism is a disgrace. Support Sarah. The Change.org petition, Save Sarah's Cabin, hit 1 million signatures, with comments like Sarah's a legend and Karen's done. Linda spoke to reporters, voice firm. Sarah's cabin was our soul, and her permits are our shield. Karen's demolition threatens our community. She announced a council motion to fine the HOA $80,000 and ban unpermitted demolitions. The crowd roared, chanting cabin free. The HOA, gutted by scandals, leaked emails disavowing Karen. She hired them alone. Neighbors blocked her car, demanding justice, as Mia filmed. I grabbed the megaphone, heart racing. Karen thought she could raise my cabin, but I signed every permit, and the law says no. I proposed a cabin-strong rally at Meadowmart, with lake tours, music, and a fundraiser for rebuilding, revealing my plan to revoke her HOA's permits. The crowd cheered, volunteering to testify. I shared online, Karen's demolition failed. Join us to rebuild my cabin. The livestream hit 40 million views, with hashtag CabinStrong trending. Comments flooded. Sarah's unstoppable. Karen's rebel. Karen made a last stand, yelling at Ruiz, "The HOA's above you." But James revealed county records, my signature on her HOA's permits. "You're charged with vandalism, trespass, and conspiracy," Ruiz said, cuffing her. The crowd parted, phones filming her walk to the cruiser. Lily's stream hit 50 million views, with comments like "Bye, Karen." Permits win. News ran headlines. Farmers' permits stop, HOA Karen's cabin demolition. Aisha organized kids to paint cabin-free signs, while James tied it to his lake, saying, "Sarah and Ethan guard our homes." Ruiz secured the rubble, and neighbors guarded my lot, turning chaos into unity. Linda promised county funding for a Sarah's Haven sign, marking my land status. The stage was set for a victory that would rebuild my cabin, end Karen's reign, and show Crescent Meadows' power. Karen was cuffed, but what happened next would shock everyone. My lakeside lot pulsed with triumph as Karen, Cole, and Patel were cuffed, their fake order confiscated. The live stream hit 60 million views, with hashtag Karen Destroys Cabin and hashtag Save Sarah's Cabin trending worldwide. Neighbors filled my land, guarding the rubble, as news crews filmed. I held the megaphone, my roles as farmer, conservationist, SWAT trainer, and permitting officer now a beacon. My permits are sword, ready to bury Karen's scam. Ruiz addressed the crowd, voice commanding. Karen Miller and her accomplices faced charges of vandalism, trespass, and conspiracy, with up to 7 years. The crowd roared, waving cabin-free signs. Ruiz added, Sarah's cabin was legal, and her permits sealed their fate. Neighbors cheered, phones filming for the forum, where comments surged. Karen's done. Sarah's our queen. Linda took the stage, resolute. Sarah's cabin was our heart, and her permits are our might. Karen's demolition was an attack on us all. She announced the council's vote, an $80,000 HOA fine, a ban on unpermitted demolitions, and funding for Cabin Strong. The crowd chanted "Cabin Free" as kids handed me painted docks, symbols of our win. James showed my permit records, proving my authority. Sarah's signature stopped Karen, like Ethan's badge stopped her, he said, sparking applause. I unveiled a Sarah's Haven sign sketch, county-backed, to mark my land status. This lake's ours, not Karen's, I said, sharing it online, a cabin under a permit. The forum erupted. Perfect. Sarah's legacy. Ruiz confirmed the evidence. Cameras, permits, Cole's texts, was airtight. Karen and her crew pleaded guilty, facing jail and a town ban. My digital dossier, videos, permits, task force logs, was handed to the press, ensuring convictions. News ran it live. Farmers' permits stop, HOA, Karen's cabin demolition. The crowd surged, music blaring, as Cabin Strong plans took shape. I gave the mic to Ellen, who shone. This is our lake, she said, Colt holstered. Thank you, Sarah. Neighbors hugged her, patrolling my lot in solidarity. The sign contest launched, with entries flooding the forum. This wasn't just Karen's defeat. It was Crescent Meadows' triumph, proof our homes could outshine destruction. As snow fell, my lake sparkled, and my permit stood firm. Karen's conviction was Crescent Meadows' victory. News ran headlines like "Permits Save Farmer's Cabin" and "Sarah and Ethan Triumph." The live stream hit 150 million views, with hashtag Karen Destroys Cabin trending for weeks. Fan art of my permits as a justice hammer flooded the forum, and land rights groups invited me to speak. Talk shows called, but I stayed grounded, saying this is about our lake. Cabin Strong was a sensation. Thousands joined, neighbors, kids, SWAT officers, touring the lake, dancing, and unveiling the Sarah's Haven sign. Meadow Mart catered, and James led eco talks, tying my cabin to his lake's bluefins. The event raised $150,000 for rebuilding, and county leaders hailed it as a model. The forum buzzed with photos. Sarah's lake shines. No more Karens. The HOA was dissolved. Linda's vote funded $80,000 and banned unpermitted demolitions, with new laws requiring county oversight. Karen, Cole, and Patel got 6 years each, banned from Crescent Meadows, and vanished, Karen to a city flat, reportedly arguing over zoning. Don't bulldoze like Karen became a local joke, painted on docks. My lot became a tourist draw, with visitors posing by the sign. Meadow Mart and my farm stand soared, the cafe hosting lake nights with music and permit talks. Tourists flocked to Sarah's Haven, boosting sales. Neighbors brought gifts, dot carvings, swat patches, saying Ethan and I inspired them. James's data showed my lake thriving, celebrated at a community feast. The digital dossier videos, permits, logs was studied for land rights laws, influencing policy. Ellen led lake tours, calling my permits Sarah's gavel. Lily mentored kids, painting eco signs for the shore. The forum planned a Lake Freedom Fest with music, lake tours, and SWAT drills, cementing our spirit. Sarah and Ethan turned Karen's demolition into our triumph. One post read, "I hired teens to monitor my lot, giving them pride." At the fest, under a Lakes Forever banner, Linda toasted, "To Sarah Haven Legacy." Fireworks burst, kids danced, and my cabin's new frame rose. Karen's bulldozer was history, but we'd built a legacy. Meadow Mart, my farm, and James's Lake were our stronghold, proof no bully could raise our spirit. As stars reflected on the lake, I knew Crescent Meadows would always stand tall, bold, and permitted.